Imagine a racing car capable of over 650 miles an hour that runs on electricity and has no steering wheel, no gears and no brakes. Welcome to Short Circuits. As you walk inside this damp and crumbling 19th century gun hut, you enter on an amazing journey. A journey which today finishes in Germany. For it is here that John Sword, the Kaiser Wilhelm of slot modelling, has created a miniature racetrack inspired by the Hockenheim ring, using mainly items of household rubbish. And it is here that 6 slot jockeys will race in equal machinery for a chance to become the world champion short circuits racer and to call themselves the Sultan of Slots. The Hockenheim ring in Baden-Württemberg was built in 1939 to test the Mercedes-Benz Silver Arrows Grand Prix cars. Today, it is dominated by endless straights through dense pine forests, where drivers are at maximum throttle for a significant proportion of the lap. But waiting to catch them out are 3 chicanes: the Clark Curve, the Ost Curve, and the Senna Curve. Leave your braking too late, and you'll be in trouble. But it's not just about straight-line speed. The stadium section is tight and technical, which not only makes it difficult to set up the car, put a wheel out of place, and you've ruined your lap time. Or worse still, you've stuffed it into the barriers. The driver who best demolishes the straights and is smoothest through the stadium will truly be the Hockenheim ring leader. 3 teams take up today's Short Circuits challenge. Essex boys Doug and Dave will be racing in the white cars.
We'll give them a good fight and we'll see how it goes.
It's just good fun, really, and you don't die when you come off. Our team name is Brand Touch. It's only a toy.
From the heart of the Midlands, we've Derek and Steve racing in red.
I suppose it doesn't matter what size car you're racing. As soon as the flag goes, it gets serious.
I was one of the top drivers in the country for around 15 years. I was in the top 5.
I'm good. I'm very good.
We're called senile with attitude.
And
it seems fitting.
we're going to win.
From Berkshire are Adrian and Kevin racing in yellow.
Using standard cars, we can match anybody.
I'm hoping that the other drivers don't find out that I was European champion a couple of times.
The reason we call ourselves the crash test dummies is we crash a lot. As a team, I think we've got a pretty good chance here today. I'd like to wish the other teams good luck.
They're going to need it.
We've seen the other teams and we're beaten.
Yes, I think we will.
Sad, very sad people.
Do we have a message for the other teams? We certainly do.
Go home now, lads. You're wasting your time.
No, I'm scared.
The starting point of any slot car setup is a flat surface, be that a bedroom carpet, a dining room table, or, in this case, a huge piece of hardboard. Then, all you need is some track, a car, and a power source, and you're away. It looks all right, but what it needs is something to make it come alive. A little bit of colour, a little bit of texture, maybe a few trackside buildings. How about a few marshals, a team manager, a pit crew, a camera crew? Now, that's a bit more like it. In fact, it's starting to look more like the sort of setups that our modeller, John Sword, creates. There's still something missing. I know. Trees!
With a circuit such as Hockenheim, we're going to need a vast amount of pine trees. This is going to be very expensive if we buy them all from the shop, so it's a good idea to actually make your own. Now, originally, this was a baby's bottle cleaning brush, and all I've done to start this off is to cut it with some scissors, to shape it into that classic pine tree shape, and to finish this off, all it's going to require is the addition of some spray paint to give it the correct colour. And then when we scatter these around all over, it's going to look really good. Originally, this was a square or a rectangular shaped piece of foam. And all I've done is I've been using a pair of narrow tip wires to put on the hinge, start to give it more of a broken up effect, so it looks as though it's the face of a tree. And then we can move on with the next stage. First thing we're going to do is to use spray glue and tea leaves. Now, we're not going to stop and have a cup of tea, but what we're going to do is use the tea leaves to cover all the foam and represent the actual leaves on the tree. We're then just going to colour it, and the way to do that is to use a spray can of green paint and spray it all over. Once it's dry, all we need to do then is put it onto a base, or we could also use a twig and cut it off at the bottom and position it. And that's it, straightforward enough. Finally then, I'd like to show you how to make this kind of tree. I call it a twiglet tree because as I've been out walking on the ground, scattered around on the woodlands, you'll find lots of twigs, various shapes and sizes, and they're quite realistic because basically they mimic a real tree. What we do is take the shape of the tree initially and then add onto it some wire wool. So what I've done is I've used the wire wool by teasing it out to make the canopy to be fitted around the twigs, and all I'm going to do is fix it by using a hot glue gun. Coat all the wire wool with tea leaves, and then once that's dry, again we're going to spray it in much the same fashion as we did before, and that'll complete the making of the tree. So there you have it, 3 types of model trees that you can make at home for your own circuits. But if you are going to use the materials that we've been using today, then you have to wear a mask and operate the cans in a ventilated room, or ideally, like me, outside. So we've only got a few more of these to make, a couple of hundred or so, and then we'll have Hockenheim looking almost realistic.
Here on Short Circuits, we're absolutely obsessed by going fast. Obviously where conditions allow. Honestly, get us behind a wheel and we're off! And that's why the cars that we actually race are just that little bit special. Slot racing brings all the speed and drama of real-life motorsport to tabletop level. Throughout the series, John and I will be demonstrating the range of slot racing cars available and recreating the adrenaline rush of the real thing. But for our knockout competition, our slot jockeys will be using high-performance Le Mans-style GT racers. John, I don't believe it. You've got a miniature rolling road for your slot car. What is it, and what can it tell us?
It's a test bench which allows us to test the car, as the name suggests, on a static rolling road. And what we're looking at the moment is the performance of the motor, how many revs per minute, and how many metres per second the car will travel in.
So this is doing about 7,000 revs per minute at the back wheels and giving us a performance of about, 7 metres per second?
That's right. It's not bad, is it? Yeah. Look at that other one, see what that does.
OK, but first let me just work out what kind of speed that is. It's 1/32nd scale car, 7 metres per second, convert it into miles. That's about 560 miles an hour, John.
Otherwise known as very fast.
So, John, what makes the cars that we use here on Short Circuits different to a conventional slot car?
To be honest, even if you can't see the readout, with this car, you're going to hear it straight away.
Okay. Now, that is rather more impressive. Over 10,000 revs and, well, over 10 metres per second.
That was really fast, wasn't it? You could hear it before you even read that.
That's 800 mile an hour, John! 800 mile an hour?
Better not get you driving that then, have we? Could end in tears.
No wonder I keep coming off when I ever go on it.
Right, this is a faster new car that's came out, and obviously we've picked up on that and we're going to use that for the competition through the series. It's got 25% less weight overall, a faster 25,000 rev motor. It's also got a special guide fitted so it's deeper in the slot, and also the front wheels. These are lower profile and they have brass weights fitted to the axle to keep the car in the slot by making it dip down.
OK, John. Well, you may know about staying in the slots, the theory of it, but what about the practice of slot mongery? Yes, I challenge you, Mr. John Sword, to a race. Let's take this baby out on the track and give it a damn good thrashing. Come on! Right, John, I'll stay in white.
Okay.
You go in yellow, and let's have a 5-lap race. And look, be gentle with me.
No problem.
All right.
So the best thing to do is take it nice and steady.
They seem to be sticking on quite well. When I've done it before, they've been all over the place.
Well, to be honest, that was some time ago. These newer cars now, they come fitted with a magnet, which is really representing the downforce that you would get through the aerodynamics of the real version.
Right. And of course, with it being a long straights on Hockenheim, it's a low downforce circuit, but you do need the downforce through the tight stadium section.
You do, that's true, but you've got to be careful with slot cars. You know, one minute they're your friend and you stick into the track, the next thing, you're off barrel rolling through the kitty litter. So you've got to learn to slow down at the right time and then put the power on when it's needed.
I'm winning. I'm beating you. I'm beating you.
And what you're doing, you're going fast all the way, and there you go, as predicted, you're off into the kitty litter. You want to stay safe as well, Alex, you know? I mean, if we've got all these miniature medics, you know, on standby for you, if they've got to carve you out of that car, where will we be? How you doing?
I'm just biding my time, John. Just biding my time. You've gone off at a breakneck pace. You'll never keep it in the slot
I'm after
at that rate.
Well, I don't know. I'm going safe, actually. I'm going at about half speed at the moment. As I said to you before, you know, staying on is what it's all about. And there you are. Hey? There's a bit of a Murray moment there, mate, wasn't there, hey?
Just for fairness, I think I should have like just a 1 lap. Right. Best of a lap.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Are you frightened?
Terrified.
Yeah.
You scare me. You're on those glasses.
It's going to get to you.
You know.
Right. OK, hang on. You're a bit ahead of me.
A lot that's going to matter.
Right. OK, I'm going to count us down. I'll do it straight. 3, 2, 1, go! You jumped the start then, you cheeky...
I had the edge on you there, mate. I had the drop on you. Yeah, I'll have to slow him down. If you're giving you a chance. Where are you? This is your favourite bit now, look.
I'm going to do you. I'm going to do you. I'm going to do you. Okay.
You're a hazard.
I gave it everything. I gave it everything on the last bit.
You're a complete hazard. You're a nightmare. We're going to get you a safety harness, I think.
So who won that one again?
I think it was me.
OK, well done. Well done.
Yeah.
This is
you actually travelled the furthest on the circuit, though. I mean, that was terminal velocity, that was.
This is my first race. I am going to get better and better and better, John.
Wow.
This is it. I'll tell you what, now I'm addicted to slot.
Excellent.
Whew. Best of 3. Welcome back to Short Circuits. Now, behind me, our 6 slot racers are desperately trying to find the quickest way around the Hockenheim ring. They're going to take a quick break, and then it's qualifying. In qualifying, the drivers race each lane in turn and are awarded points according to their finishing position. The driver with the highest points total gets first choice of lane for the final decisive knockout race. Lane advantage is vital. A good performance in the qualifiers means you avoid the difficult outer lanes.
It's going to be a bit of a lottery with the bumps and the power drops on various lanes. It's going to make it exciting.
That's the sort of track that we drive at our club. Scenery, pit stops, and it just gives it more authenticity to the racing. And it looks great. I think it looks fantastic.
We've been there and raced on the big tracks with the big boys, so I think we'll do all right.
Some of us are going to hit bumps, and some of us aren't. The racing is going to be entertaining, to say the least.
Drivers ready? Watch the lights.
Over the course of the first 3 heats, it soon becomes clear that this is a tale of 2 drivers, one red and one yellow. Start of the 4th qualifying heat, and so far it's Kevin and Derek who are the class of the field. Heat 4 follows a familiar pattern, but Kevin seems about to stamp his authority on the session when he pushes it a bit too far and slams it into the barrier. Disaster for Kevin. Derek comes through and wins the race. Derek now's got to be favourite for pole. But in Heat 5, he doesn't have it all his own way, allowing Kevin to claw back some vital points. But theirs isn't the only battle being fought out on the track. Pole position is pretty much sewn up now between Kevin and Derek. Nobody else can catch them. But further down the order, Steve in 3rd and Doug in 4th are vying for that 3rd position and lane advantage. It's all going down to the wire. Let's watch Heat 6. And Heat 6 turns into a tale of team orders, as we'll see in a moment. John, a fantastic qualifying session and a very, very high standard of driving from all the drivers.
I thought so too, yeah. Some exceptional driving, good sportsmanship. Team tactics also came into it.
Well, certainly the red team, the senile with attitude, stage managing the last race so that Steve could come through and finish in second place.
They weren't the only ones, though. The yellow team were a little bit tight there with some team tactics.
Yeah.
Adrian was a bit of a kamikaze pilot, I think, at times. Maybe trying knocking the people off, I don't know. You never know sometimes.
He kept it on for a full lap, did he?
No, he didn't, no. I think he visited all the kitty litter and left something behind.
OK, well, where can we expect to see some action on the track during the actual race?
This looks, what I think it looks anyway, a reasonably easy track, but there are some very tight sections, especially just in front of us now. And as you come out of those into the grandstand there's a hidden little S. See it? Little cheeky thing just down there.
Oh, yeah, just down that straight. And over there on the Clark curve, we've already seen some cars go off there in the practice session. That could be a place where the race is won or lost.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah, I think so too.
I'll tell you what, though, John, it's pretty bumpy.
It is, there's no denying that. You know, we've not had loads and loads of time to build this circuit. I think it looks great, but the track is a little bit bumpy. But after all, we're not playing snooker here, we're slot racing.
Prediction for the final?
My choice would have to be Kevin, I think. A cool customer. I've raced against him. He's been all over Europe, around the world a couple of times, basically racing. Very dedicated slot racer.
Well, I'll go for Derek. There's only one way to find out what's going to happen. Can't wait for the race. 6 slot jockeys are about to face each other over 10 laps in today's knockout race. Only those who finish in the top 3 will make it through to the semi-finals. There's an old motorsport saying that goes, to finish first, first you've got to finish. And our racers would do well to remember that in the final. Because if their car leaves the track at any time, they're out. No second chances. Good luck, gentlemen. The race is underway. Great start there from Kevin. Superb, straight into the lead. And the red team are... Oh, what's happened, Kevin? No, it's not Kevin. It's Adrian. Adrian couldn't keep it on during qualifying. And sure enough, in the race, lap 1, he's stuffed it into the barriers. Terrible race from Adrian. So, lap 2, Kevin leading from Derek. The 2 drivers. Oh, Derek and... No, Steve and Dave touching there. Oh, Derek! I don't believe it! Derek, one of the best slot car racers in the country for the last 25 years. Completely stuffs. No wonder he's upset. I don't believe it. He was favourite there to qualify for the semi-final, and his race is over. So now Kevin is in the lead, Steve in second, and Dave, what's happened to... He's going again. He's going. No, Dave stopped out on the Clark curve. I don't believe it. He's come all the way from Essex and his race is over. Could be No! Oh, my Lord, Kevin! Just as I was trying to describe the hell that Dave was having, Kevin has gone off. Oh, no, there's 2 cars left. We're only on lap 4. There's 2 cars left in the race. And those cars are Steve and Doug. It's a battle between these 2 guys now. Steve has quite a margin of the lead there. And, well, I mean, these 2 guys are driving for pride. They're both effectively qualified for the semi-final, but who's going to get that psychological advantage of a win in the heats? Majestic through those corners there, Steve. A fantastic racer. Second on the grid, of course, thanks to his teammate. Oh, what a beautiful bit of car control there from Doug. Kept it together, right on the limit, but not over the limit. And actually, he's on a bit of a charge. You can see visually the gap is going down lap after lap after lap. Now, is the race long enough for Doug? What's happened? Doug, we go. Come on, show us the action. He stopped out on the track. I don't believe it. He was trying far too hard, and he's let Steve cakewalk it to the final. He's blocking the lane. He's blocking. A quick shove aside. And Steve, well, past the stricken cars of his rivals, taking it through a very comfortable victory in the end. Well done, Steve. Congratulations, Steve. You won outright. But what happened to your teammate? You were supposed to be running team orders. He was supposed to be helping you and you helping him.
Well, yes. I'm not quite sure what happened in that race. My plan was to watch the others sit in third place and get to the semi-final. That's what it was all about. I was sitting in third place, following Derek, and he binned it down here. I can't believe he did. I saw Doug behind me. I sort of thought, that's fair enough. And all of a sudden, I found myself leading the race. So as Doug started catching me up, I was then counting the laps down and thinking, OK, how long is it into the finish? Got to take it easy, because he's now got nothing to lose. He's in second place. He started pushing, going faster and faster, and I just eked it out and crossed the line ahead of him.
Our favourites ended up in the doghouse. What happened?
I think they all went for broke, didn't they? There's no hanging back there at all. They all went as best they could, fastest laps sitting in there. Couple fell victim to the track, perhaps. Kitty Litter caught out Adrian, didn't it? He was sliding around nicely, lost his grip, off he went. Dave must be gutted. I mean, he's in third place, and it just, you know, the engine just conked out, fell apart.
But that's motor racing.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll see you next time on Short Circuits, where we guarantee you there'll be no pit stops, no prima donnas, and definitely no petrol.
Another day, another shed this evening. Killer Mountain is your next venue, except it's more like Killer Molehill. Still, it's fast, and it's after the break.